Welcome everyone to Beyond the Adventure. Today's episode is Springtime in Arcadia, and let's get started. So for the opening shot here, I wanted to show you guys one of the many signs that you will see when you're entering Arcadia. And now while the intro plays, I will read a little bit about Arcadia from their website. This is on massaudubon.org. So Arcadia is spanning East Hampton and Northampton. Arcadia's diverse terrain, forest, meadows, grassland, marsh, and wetlands attracts an extraordinary variety of wildlife. You will also find a thriving population of wildflowers thanks to its rich, loamy soil, which is characteristic of the Connecticut River floodplain. So the total acreage of this entire property, or the entire nature reserve, wildlife reserve, is 724 acres. There are 4 miles of trail that you can walk in throughout this area, and it is universally accessible for 850 feet on those trails. So, going through here, going through the entrance of Arcadia, they have an honor system that is, there's a little box right there, they're suggesting a donation of $8, I believe it is, to walk around this area, which it does help to preserve the land and it does help them to make improvements. They also have like summer camps and stuff like that that they offer here in this area. Now this is coming down towards where the river is, well, not quite the river, but one of the outlets that goes to the Connecticut River right near the Oxbow. And you'll see this tree house that is right here. It's an observation tower. Now I'm 6'4", I'm like 240, 250 pounds, and this thing is pretty large on the inside. Myself up there, I can't imagine there being more than like 500 pounds up there without it being extremely shaky. Like I said, it was extremely shaky when I was up there. Anyways, if you see that little telephone pole right here, there's a bunch of different signs on there, and each of those signs corresponds to the different height in the water whenever there was a flood in this area. You can actually see one of the signs is all the way on the tippity top. That is from the flood of 1984, the water reached that high. And if my memory serves me correctly, this little observation tower, this treehouse, whatever you want to call it, came down about 7 or so years ago when Hurricane Irene came in the area, so they had to put that back up there again. Now, this is just a view overlooking, this is the outlet that I told you that leads to the river. So on the far right side of your screen would be the Connecticut River way over there, and it would also be far out in the distance. This is kind of like a little inlet that leads to where the Oxbow is, and then the Oxbow hooks around and sneaks out to the river. But anyways, it's a very quiet place. I used to go up here all the time with my grandfather when I was younger. There's a couple spots that you can off-road, and you'll see at the end of the episode, one of the bridges to actually get over to where the fields were was closed. It had Jersey barricades or cement barricades up there to stop people from driving over, because with the melting of the snow up north and also the rain flow, that bridge is subject to flooding. And there have been many times that we have been in the boat and we've gone around the bridge or near the bridge and seen it where it's been underwater. This tree right there, I don't know what is up with that tree. That was the weirdest bit of bark I've ever seen. I mean, I've gone to like swamps in the Everglades and stuff like that, and I've never seen a tree up here that had a bark characteristic of that. So right here, this shot, just a little gully or a little depression in the land. But what I wanted to show you, where I'm standing right now, is actually an old train path, or an old set of train tracks used to be. It would go across the river to where that cement pillar is that I'm zooming in on right now. The train actually crossed over there and went into Northampton, and the train tracks went all the way down through the woods where it's all cleared out there. You can see the bridge again, or what is left of the pillars to support the bridge, and that's where the train tracks or the train would travel up and down through the woods. Now you'll see in a second here, went all the way down there, but all of that area you can walk through, but you'll see it's extremely muddy, like I said. So we just tried to stay on the drier grounds there, and this is walking back towards where the main building for Arcadia would be. And one of the cool things that they have right behind the main building is they have this like wrap around deck for a vernal pool, or a pool that is affected by the tides, and it has, you know, amphibians living in there. There's frogs and turtles and stuff like that. It's a pool that is affected by the moon, and the lunar pole is what I remember. So there's a couple turtles right there. There's 4 turtles originally, but one of them jumped into the water, and now there's only 3 of them sitting there. And then the other one had actually come over, and he's swimming in there. It's really hard to see. I can't really picture him. And then there was this other turtle here as well. This lonely turtle all by himself catching some sun. Really cool painted turtles there. Like I said, they had this whole wraparound deck by this swamp or vernal pool, whatever you want to call it. Now this is the road that I was telling you guys about before. When you drive down this, there's a little tiny bridge, which you will see when I turn the camera over this way. And like I said, the bridge was closed, but when it is summertime or even in the fall, that bridge is open and you can go into the field there, and there's just a bunch of different areas where they have set up for, you know, endangered species, endangered birds to nest there and to, you know, migrate to that area. That is the oxbow like I was talking about before. That's where that little inlet leads underneath that bridge right there. Anyways, that's the end of the episode. One cool thing, right behind me when I was saying the outro there's a few small islands. I don't know if you're going to be able to make them out because they were underwater, but when I was a little kid, my dad, myself, and my mother, we would take the boat up there. We would go camping overnight. It was a lot of fun. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for today's episode of Beyond the Adventure. Let me know if you enjoyed it by giving this video a thumbs up, and I will see everybody tomorrow for Thungry Thursday. Peace.